More now on this. I'm joined by Salim Oweis in Jordan. Salim, thank you for taking the time to speak to us. You're the communication officer for UNICEF, Middle East and North Africa. I want to start first with that latest news we were just taking a look at a moment ago. Those 30 babies who were born prematurely in Gaza who have now been evacuated from the Al-Shifa hospital to Egypt, but without their families for the most part. What does the future hold for them?
Yeah, this is the spotlight story now, but these are but part of the story. These are few of those who made it. The future for these children, some of them are in bad conditions, health conditions, but we hope for the better for them. Unfortunately, those are part of 130 children in incubators around Gaza, and when we look at this story, we look at many more who are waiting to get the aid that they need, to get the services that they need, and in hospitals that lack electricity, lack water, and really providing services in them is really challenging for doctors and nurses there.
Salim, I was mentioning earlier this number of 5,500 children reportedly killed in 6 weeks in Gaza. In addition, some 9,000 more have been hurt, many of them with life-changing consequences. Is there anything being put in place at the moment to help these children with things like physical therapy, new limbs? Is there any sort of anything being done for them at all in that regard?
Well, unfortunately, the main focus is to keep children safe and to keep them alive. While there are some initiatives on the ground, and we have started our work with partners to give as much services and care for children, it's really challenging on the ground. We're talking about humanitarian workers, health workers on the ground while caring for their families and for their loved ones, and being in the same context as everyone else, facing the same security and safety issues. In addition to the humanitarian crisis, they're trying to provide everything that's possible, but it's really challenging, and everyone is doing the best they can on the ground.
Some 400,000 people in Gaza have already been forced to leave their homes. Do we know more about these displaced children? What's being done to help them as they've left everything they've ever known?
So yeah, children are being they shelter in schools, they shelter in hospitals, some with families, but mainly in these public places. And the situation there is really dire and horrific. We're talking about thousands in one place that is not meant to be a shelter. They're sharing the little that they have of resources and services in that school or that hospital. Some tens or hundreds sharing one bathroom, and with the infrastructure not really not being made for that, and also being damaged, like the water systems, the sanitation systems. All that really reflect very badly on the children and expose them and risk their lives to waterborne diseases, to diseases that is gonna move along or being contagious because of the amount of people inside one place. So the situation of these children is really dire, and we're trying our best to get them as much aid as possible from that we are able to get through the Rafah border, including water, including healthcare, including hygiene kits to prevent the spread of illness, but much more is needed, and that's why we continue our advocacy for all the crossing points to be open, and for humanitarian aid to be allowed in without any obstacles and continuously.
Salim, I want to ask you about the Israeli hostages being held by Hamas. There are reportedly some 40 children and babies among them. Do you have any idea of what the situation might be like for them at the moment?
Well, that's another story that shows how children are the worst to be hit. Hostages should be released, and this has been the call since the beginning. Each one of the children should be reunited with their families. That's their right, and that's what we are advocating for. Hopefully, we will see that soon. But until then, we keep on calling for all parties to respect the rights of children and to really grant them the special protection that they are entitled to.